Hello, today I'm going to be building a box for the side of my bicycle. So what I done here is I got some 22 gauge steel from the Home Depot. Now this stuff's pretty thin and pretty light, so it should make a fairly decent box. It's also got some fairly good rigidity. I've used it before, made some other stuff with it. So once you actually do put it together, it is fairly strong. So I got this box that I made up. I've drawn the design onto my actual steel so then I can just follow the lines and cut it out. So it's supposed to be a box that's 29 centimeters by 28 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So it should be fairly well sized. I just designed it after my lunch bag because, well, I might put my lunch bag in there at some point, so it'll fit my lunch bag at least. And then so over here, this is the bike that I'm going to be mounting it on. So this one, I chose this one because it's got this nice rack thing at the back already. So instead of having to make something that would actually hold the box on, I could just use this as the mounting point for the box, which I think will be working pretty well. So yeah, so we're going to start out. I got this jigsaw in order to cut it. So right now we've only got a wood cutting blade in there right now, but I got a few metal cutting ones. There we go. So I can swap them out. And you should always use a metal cutting blade when cutting metal. This wood cutting blade is a different design than a metal cutting blade, so it's not really going to cut the metal so well. And you'll get like a less, you'll get a really like not clean cut if you do that. So yeah, and this is my cutting bench here. This work as an overall sort of platform for cutting, so I can just put my stuff on here however I need to and just cut away. Works 100% of the time, every time. This part. So now that we got everything all cut out, and we're going to start bending all these parts so that they fit together. So main things we're going to bend, we got to bend this right here, and then we also got to bend this right here. So then we can assemble it. So I'm going to just start here with this big one right here. Just want to get it lined right up on the thing here, and we can just start bending it. start by hand here, and then I'll just take the hammer. It's starting to bend now. Oops. Let's get that up there. It's going to leave a few marks in your metal if you decide to do this as well. But you know, this is the way I got. So yeah. Then what I can do is I can also just step on it, and then I can just bend it in like that. See, it's gotten it a bit more. Hammer. Boom. Look at that. Pro gamer. It's totally done-ish. So then the next part would be to work on bending this one right here. So we take that, and then we just start hammering. This one was easier than the last one because it's not quite so large, so it's easier to just sort of fold over the side with just the hammer. See, so it's pretty good. You can just sort of some extra flavor there. Can't actually add any extra flavor. There we go. Then we can do one of these ones. How will we do this one? Well, we'll just freehand it like professionals. Such a great idea. Alright, so yeah, so now we're just doing the drilling phase. So we're just going to drill holes in all the parts. So down here, here, and then we're just going to get ready so that we can rivet it all together. So I'm just going to start, drill a quick hole right here. Take the rivet, and rivet is too big. Just continue drilling some more holes here. Just drill them in this. How many rivets do you think we can get? 4. actual assembly of the box, I'm going to be riveting it together. This is actually a fairly simple way to actually attach steel, and this is better, I'd say, than nut and bolting it, because if you decide to use nuts and bolts for this, you may end up with, like, as you're like riding around on your bike or using this box, if you decide not to put it on a bike or something, then the bolts are going to come loose over time, and then they're going to start to rattle, and you know, it just gets really annoying. So I think riveting it is probably the best way to secure it, aside from welding or something. But we don't really have access to that. So yeah, and then you just rivet it, just put the gun on, boom, and well, bam, and riveted together, and you got these little nubbins in the back there. And yeah, it's all good. So we just finished mounting up the box 2 of the bike. So what we did for that was we got this thing, we got this, and we mounted those both with rivets. So there's one here and one here on the top here. And then in order to prevent the box from swinging out, so like say it was turning a corner, if we just had those two, it would just, you know, fly out, right? But we got this thing on the back here on this mounting point thing right here, the actual rack, which prevents it from swinging out and holds it in a bit better. So you know, overall it's pretty strong on there. You know, it's not going to fall off very easily. You know, you can just slap your stuff in there, boom. You can go ride your bike around and then just take it out. It's really simple, pretty easy design, and yeah, just works very well for what I wanted to do. So thank you. Hello. So it's been about 2 weeks since I've started putting the box on my bicycle, and I've been using it almost every day since then. So I'm just going to talk about a few things that I've noticed while I've actually been using the box on my bike. So some things that I noticed is when you're riding the bike, if you have your foot on the pedal, sometimes it'll hit the back of the box, like right here. And now that's not quite a big deal for me since I'm always wearing work boots while I'm riding my bike, but for somebody, if you were just wearing like regular shoes or whatever, it may actually like hurt your ankle or hurt the back of your heel or whatever. So what I usually, plus it's really annoying when your foot hits the back of the box all the time, so what I do is I just have a different sort of position. You just keep your foot moved a bit forward. It was actually fairly easy for me to just change the way I sit on the bike and where my foot placement is, so that's what I did in order to counter that. But some other things you could do is you can mount it further back on the bike, move it back a bit, and put the middle mount in a different spot. Put it like a bit more up here instead of here. And then some other things that I noticed is the box, while it's not actually that heavy, it still weighs quite a bit, and plus when you're riding around you're hitting bumps and stuff. So what happened to me was my mounting point for the actual bracket thing broke here, so it also broke on the other side as well. So I would recommend make sure you double check like that your mounting point is sturdy enough to hold on to the box, and if not, just maybe reinforce it, because I'm gonna have to fix that as well. And then finally, some other things that I've noticed is sometimes I have a few issues where the box is actually like hitting the brakes and stuff, and it's making a lot of noise while I'm riding. It's quite annoying, but so you may want to make sure that your box is mounted out of the way of moving parts such as the brakes and things like that on your bike. and mainly just yeah, I do find it is actually quite useful. It can hold a fairly significant amount of stuff, not just my lunch bag. Like you can put like other food in there, uh, any other items and stuff like that. Like I actually use it for holding quite a bit of stuff. And then yeah, I think that's really everything that I sort of noticed about the box. Overall, I think it's a pretty good addition to my bike, and I actually really like it. Thank you.